Under the blinding glare of arena lights, the ring gleams like polished silver, every corner pristine, every rope taut, every screen shimmering with hypersaturated colors. Cameras glide seamlessly, capturing every muscle, every sweat bead, every choreographed leap. The pyrotechnics explode with mechanical precision, a calculated storm of sparks, smoke, and sound. To an outsider, the spectacle is flawless, modern, and unassailable, a product of technology, skill, and meticulous planning. Every frame is perfect, every angle optimized for maximum aesthetic appeal. The presentation is smoother than ever, the commentary scripted yet polished, the athletes stronger, faster, more disciplined than generations past. On the surface, WWE has never looked more refined, more advanced. The audience is treated to a seamless show, a glossy veneer of entertainment that seems, for all intents and purposes, untouchable. And yet beneath this gleaming surface, something is hollow. There is a quiet emptiness, a subtle dissonance between what is seen and what is felt. The energy in the crowd feels curated rather than organic, the cheers and boos choreographed as if in anticipation of the camera lens. The violence is safer, the risks measured, the outcomes predictable. There is no thrill of the unknown, no dangerous edge that made past eras pulse with electricity. The product is technically superior, yet emotionally diminished. Fans watch, captivated by the spectacle, but inside there is a ghostly echo of excitement, a memory of days when the ring was a cauldron of unpredictability, where heroes were fragile, villains dangerous, and the outcomes uncertain. The spark that once set fire to imaginations flickers now in controlled bursts, confined to scripts, promos, and planned segments. In the past, imperfection was part of the charm. The ring was sometimes scarred, the production rough around the edges, commentary occasionally stuttering, storylines messy, and matches unpredictable. But this chaos created life, a heartbeat that could not be mimicked or measured. A wrestler could rise or fall in a night, a fan's gasp could change a narrative, and every moment felt alive, raw, and dangerous. The audience was not just observing, it was participating in the theater of possibility. Mistakes became legends, accidents became stories, and unpredictability became art. Compare that to today's hyper-controlled narrative. Every feud has an expiration date, every outcome is telegraphed, every story beats to the rhythm of algorithms and focus groups rather than gut instinct. The past was flawed but vibrant, the present is flawless but hollow. Commercialization has strangled spontaneity, sponsors' logos adorn every surface, merchandise plugs interrupt moments that once mattered, and narrative choices are filtered through boards of executives more concerned with marketability than myth-making. Characters are curated to be safe, to appeal to demographics rather than ignite passion. Risk-taking is muted because risk is expensive and danger has been sanitized for broadcast. Matches are safer, storylines are predetermined, and surprises, once the lifeblood of wrestling, are rare. The unpredictability that once transformed a simple brawl into a cultural event has been replaced with formulaic segments, meticulously edited promos, and choreographed crowd reactions. What was once a rebellion of flesh and ambition is now a polished product optimized for social media clips and merchandise sales. Nostalgia clings to the corners of this sterile arena. Fans long for the return of icons, the faces of eras past, the voices that once carried emotion in every syllable. John Cena, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, they exist as symbols of warmth and risk, of eras when the impossible could happen. Yet the reliance on nostalgia is paradoxical. It soothes the emptiness by invoking memory but prevents new stars from fully emerging. Every new talent is measured against legends rather than allowed to exist on their own merits. Cody Rhodes' victories are scrutinized through the lens of past heroes. Seth Rollins' highs are compared to the electric unpredictability of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nostalgia comforts but cages, reminding fans of what was lost while limiting imagination for what could be. This emptiness mirrors broader cultural patterns. Society, in its relentless pursuit of the new and viral, devours content at a dizzying pace, favoring remakes, reboots, and safe bets over experimentation. Instant gratification replaces patience, and algorithms reward predictability over risk. WWE, as a reflection of these trends, has become safer, shinier, and faster paced, yet emotionally shallower. The audience consumes without pause, scrolling past, liking, retweeting, clipping highlights, and forgetting the depth of the spectacle. Memory becomes currency, and every past moment is mined for nostalgia while the present struggles to breathe. The cycle repeats. Old icons return to fill gaps, new stars emerge tentatively, and the soul of wrestling, the unquantifiable thrill of uncertainty, remains muted. Yet within this emptiness, flickers of hope exist. New stars rise quietly, often unnoticed, carrying potential that may one day set arenas alight. Names like Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, and other rising talents hint at unpolished brilliance, the kind that, with patience and vision, could rekindle the soul of the product. These sparks remind us that every legend was once doubted, every icon once underestimated. The potential for reinvention exists, but it requires risk, trust, and a willingness to let unpredictability breathe. Storylines could be daring, matches could embrace genuine danger, and crowd reactions could regain autonomy rather than serving as a backdrop for marketing. The emptiness is not permanent, it is a space waiting for spark, for life to return to the carefully curated theater. In reflecting on this emptiness, one sees the bittersweet nature of time. Memory glows warmly, making past eras seem richer, rawer, more alive. Yet every era has its flaws, its chaos, its shadows. Modern WWE is not devoid of skill, innovation, or spectacle. It is brimming with technical mastery, but in polishing the surface, something intangible has been lost. The heart of unpredictability, the thrill of danger, the raw emotion of flawed humanity has been muted by perfection, planning, and corporate control. Yet the future holds promise. Within the polished lights, within the strategic narratives, within the rising stars, there lies potential for a new mythology, one that may capture the imagination as fiercely as the ghosts of the past. WWE's current emptiness is a mirror reflecting both our desire for perfection and our craving for soul. The polished ring, the shining screens, the perfect promos, they are impressive, even beautiful, but the human element, the spark, the fire that turns performance into legend, waits for reclamation. Fans, performers, and executives alike must recognize this. Brilliance exists in imperfection, energy thrives in unpredictability, and passion cannot be scheduled. Wrestling's soul is not found in lighting cues or sponsorships, but in the raw, living, breathing connection between athlete and audience, risk and reward, chaos and consequence. Time flows like a river through the squared circle, carrying memories of heroes past and whispers of legends yet to rise. The ring remains, a stage both sacred and profane, polished yet hollow, waiting for sparks to ignite, for hearts to beat faster, for fans to gasp in unfiltered awe. Emptiness is not the end, it is the space in which renewal is born. WWE may feel empty today, but the river moves forward, carrying with it the possibility of fire, chaos, and myth. And in that possibility lies hope, the promise that tomorrow, the ring will once again pulse with life, unpredictability, and the unquenchable spirit that has always defined it. The landscape of talent is paradoxical. While many top stars seem entrenched or overexposed, mid-card performers often possess charisma and ability that remain underutilized. Their narratives are constrained by long-term booking that prioritizes legacy over innovation. The creative framework, although sophisticated, often inhibits spontaneity. Storylines progress in predictable arcs designed to maximize social media engagement and merchandise sales, yet they lack the jagged edges that provoke emotional investment. In earlier decades, a fan could influence a match's reception or a wrestler's trajectory simply through reaction. Today, audience agency is mediated through screens, polls, and algorithms, a simulation of engagement that can never replicate the electricity of true unpredictability. This overcuration manifests in another subtle emptiness, the absence of authentic consequences. When victories and losses carry little risk, and titles are traded with corporate intent rather than narrative necessity, the emotional stakes are diluted. Historical moments where champions fell unexpectedly or matches ended in chaos created communal memory among fans. The reverberation of surprise and shock lingered long after the arena emptied. Today, outcomes feel choreographed for efficiency and marketability, leaving audiences with admiration for skill but not awe. The emotional resonance is minimized, leaving a sophisticated but sterile spectacle, beautiful in form yet hollow in soul. Technological advancements, while impressive, contribute to this paradox. Ultra-high definition cameras, cinematic entrances, and augmented lighting create immersive visuals that amplify spectacle, yet they can distance the audience from the organic chaos of live performance. Perfection in presentation often diminishes the perceived stakes. When every action is captured flawlessly, rehearsed to exacting detail, the thrill of imperfection, the chance of an unplanned injury, an improvisational moment, a spontaneous crowd reaction is lost. The razor-sharp clarity of today's broadcast paradoxically erases the raw textures that gave the product its humanity in previous eras. Narrative structures have evolved similarly, often prioritizing formula over experimentation. Feuds are mapped on extensive timelines, with beats designed for social media clips, merchandise synergy, and long-term continuity. The artistry of storytelling, which once relied on instinct, chance, and immediate audience feedback, is now calculated, constrained, and safe. Villains are rarely threatening, heroes rarely vulnerable. The gray areas of morality, the ambiguities that once made fan allegiance fluid and emotionally charged, are often flattened into archetypes, leaving characters well-defined but emotionally inert. The consequence is a landscape where technical excellence abounds, but emotional resonance is sporadic. The story of WWE is the story of time itself, past and future entwined, memory and innovation locked in eternal dance. While we mourn what has been lost, we are invited to witness what could be. The ring may feel empty, the crowd may feel curated, and the spectacle may feel too perfect, but within that emptiness lies the canvas for new legends, new chaos, and new moments that will, one day, feel raw, alive, and unforgettable. The lights are bright, the ring is polished, and the stage is set. Now, all that remains is for someone somewhere to strike the spark.